Hello friends. Inside this box is the first ever Benchmade knife I will ever have my hands on. And you're going to want to stick around to the end of this video because I'm going to be giving it to one of my lucky subscribers. So please take a minute to like this video, subscribe to my channel, it really helps, and ring that bell please. Alright, here we go. Benchmade Hunt Series. This blade is not the knife that I originally caught my eye. What originally caught my eye was last year's Tagged out with the orange handle. This one here has only been out for a few weeks. It's been updated. It's got an OD green G10 handle, and it's got orange thumb studs and a solid backspacer. So first of all, this is a very thin knife and it's very light in the hand. It's only a little over 2 ounces. Handles feel pretty good and the thumb stud is placed very nicely on it. So my first impressions are this is a very handsome knife. Very high quality. I can't say that I am impressed. Benchmade, that's a nice knife. So when doing my YouTube research on this knife, I didn't see a lot of real close-ups of the handle and I had a lot of questions. Let me help solve that here for my audience. There is no checkering on the G10. It's just smooth. It doesn't even have the jimping that the orange model has at the bottom down by your index finger. But the overall shape of the handle allows you to get a good purchase on the knife, even as slim as it is. So I don't really think the knife coming out of your hand is going to be an issue. Now this model uses an orange thumb stud to deploy the blade, while the last year's orange model uses a hole in the blade, kind of like the Spidey hole, which is something I'm a little bit more familiar with. But the thumb studs work great. They're in a natural position, and I believe they will open the blade probably a little bit quicker than the last year's slotted model. Now let's talk about this blade. It is a beautiful 3.5-inch clip point, and it is made out of S45VN steel, unlike last year's model, which still used a premium CPN 154. Having a hard time getting it to focus here. But this clip point blade has one of the nicest looking stone wash finishes I've ever seen. It is just gorgeous. Kudos to you, Benchmade. Here's the deep carry pocket clip. It's a kind of a short clip. Not quite sure how I like the looks of it yet. I think they could have done a little better job on this. There's your lanyard hole in your orange backspacer. I believe the orange model has a little different shape there. Here you can see some of the lack of checkering, but they did a good job milling the G10 and it does have some nice contour for your hand. So new to me is this Benchmade axis lock. And I will say that with this light blade, it does not drop freely like my Spydercos do. I think it will take some lubrication and some break-in, but it's a very light blade. I don't know if it's going to really get there. So let's go ahead and break out the Paramilitary 2 Spyderco and compare the two. So Paramilitary 2 8.24 inches is just a little bit longer than the Tagged out 8.13. The Military 2 has a 3.42 inch blade versus the Tagged out has a 3.5 inch blade. So just a little bit bigger blade on that Tagged out. The Paramilitary 2 is 4.82 inch closed. The Tagged out is 4.63. Now here's where the biggest difference is. The Paramilitary 2 is a 3.7 millimeter thick blade. This Tagged out is only at 2.28. That's a little over a third thinner than the Paramilitary 2. That is going to be one slicey blade. That is exactly what caught my interest on this knife. This thing is going to slice and dice like you wouldn't believe. We have the standard paramilitary 2-leaf shaped blade versus the bug out clip point. Now I want to break out another knife to compare it to, and this is the 0562 from Zero Tolerance. And the reason I'm comparing this knife is look at the shape of the blade. The clip point belly is identical. And so is the stonewash. I mean, the stonewash is better on the Benchmade, but it's a close second on that ZT. It looks like they almost use the same, but look at this. I can put them side by side, and they are the exact silhouette. Look at it. The whole cutting edge from point to choil is identical until we spin them around and look at the thickness of the blade. And then we can see that the ZT has a 3.962 millimeter versus the 2.28 millimeter of the tagged out. That tagged out is really going to shine when it comes to slicing. The Hinder design ZT, called a slicer, but it really isn't. It's a thick, heavy blade. It's a beautiful blade, but it does not slice very good. But it's a very good knife for comparison. So we got an 8.3 on the ZT versus the tagged out's 8.13, so it's very close there. It's got a blade length of 3.5, and we've already seen that both blades have the same profile on the belly. But where the biggest difference is that ZT is 5.3 ounces versus the 2.10 ounce of the tagged out. Tagged out is less than 1/2 the weight of the ZT. Here we can see how close the knives really are when compared side profile. I mean, the handles are about the same width, the knife is the same length. Very close to each other. It's just, like I said, half the weight. That's what's going to make that tagged out a very, very nice EDC. That thing is going to slice through cardboard like you wouldn't believe. It's going to be easy to carry. It's going to ride deep in the pocket just like the ZT. It's just you're not going to be carrying around that weight with you. Tagged out is a very good knife. But I don't think this is the knife I'm going to keep for myself. I think last year's model with the slot like the Spidey hole instead of the thumb stud and the orange Grivery scales with a little bit more traction is more the knife that I would enjoy. So I've already ordered me one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this knife, this very knife right here, and when I hit 1,000 subscribers I am going to have a drawing and give it to one of you. So what you need to do is make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Make sure you like this video and share this video, and then comment on this video, I want this knife. Okay? When I reach 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to come back to this video, and everybody that commented, I want this knife, will be entered into the drawing. In the meantime, this knife is going to go back in the box and be put on the shelf and waiting for one of you lucky subscribers to win. So make sure you're subscribed, you like, comment I want this knife, and share the video. Thanks for viewing and supporting my channel, and enjoy the knife hobby.